as some of you saw in my post on YouTube yesterday and on Instagram, I just got finished looking at a 2001 L.L.Bean Outback that only had 45,300 miles on the clock. The guy was located in Charlotte. He's selling the car, asking $5,500 for it. My mother's been looking for me to find her an L.L.Bean, first generation L.L.Bean Outback, aka a second gen Outback, that was low mileage. She's quite specific in wanting white with tan, but with the fact that the cars are 18-ish years old now, beggars can't be choosers. So this car is a burgundy color, but it is pretty pristine inside and out. I didn't video while I was with the guy, or video the car, because I didn't want to feel it would have been a little awkward, I think. I did get some pictures with my phone. I will have a little slideshow of the car inside and out during the video. This is going to be a pretty quick video, like I said, because I didn't have video of it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pass on the car, and I'm going to give you a rundown real quick of why. When I looked the car over, well, the pictures of the car, it looked like it was in immaculate condition. Looked like it had been garage kept. Everything was great on it when I got here. The paint was pretty sun faded. The passenger rear door had been replaced. The owner told me that the door was replaced. I can't remember if it was dented or in a collision or what he told me, but the paint, clear coat was peeled off of it. Not really good condition. There's quite a bit of scratches and scuffs that were touched up with touch-up paint kind of poorly. With the mileage of the car and the age, I'm only assuming that it was owned by an elderly person and rarely driven. The guy that had the car is a reseller, so he had bought it to resell. He couldn't tell me much of anything on it. The original window sticker, all the paperwork was still in the car, which was nice. Interior was basically perfect, seat-wise, carpet-wise, floor mats, dash, and everything else. One odd thing was that the paint on the auto and off buttons on the climate control was chipped off, where you could see the light and the clear plastic, hard clear plastic, opaque plastic of the button, like it had been scratched off, which is so weird because my 2002 L.L.Bean has nearly 300,000 miles on it, and the climate control head unit is perfect, no damage. So that was a little odd that it had done that. The cargo area, perfect condition, spare tire, jack, everything in its place, everything as it should be. There were quite a few issues on the actual inspection and test driving of the car. Low mileage cars, especially 18-year-old low mileage cars, aren't a holy grail. It is a nice little time capsule preserved in time. The fact that just the little foam inserts on either side of the radiator was still intact amazed me, because I don't think I've run across this generation Outback that still has them. All the paint markings of all the inspection on the suspension, everything was, you know, pretty much brand new like you'd expect, especially it being a southern car and not going through salt and slag and winter rust and everything else normally associated with this vintage of Subaru. But one big issue I saw right offhand, the rear tires were the original 2001 Goodyears that came on the car. He put 2 new front tires on it. Not good. Subarus need all 4 tires changed at once, or I believe the spec is 2 or 3 30-seconds variant between all 4 tires, or else you have a lot of vibration and drivetrain noise and possibly damaged transmission, differentials, etc. I felt all of that when I drove it on the highway. When we got on Interstate 45, there was a lot of vibration. The car was pulling. It needed an alignment pretty badly, and a whole lot of noise from the tires due to the fact that the fronts were turning slightly slower than the rears, due to the fact that they were slightly larger diameter from being new tires compared to the old tires. What else? The front axle seals were leaking pretty badly, and that's just from age and sitting. Both inner CV axle, where they go into the transmission, into the differential, were covered in gear oil. Gear oil was all around, so both of those seals were going to need to be replaced. The bottom of the transmission pan was covered in oil, so the pan was going to need to be resealed, which is kind of crazy with a 45,000 mile car that the pan was leaking so badly and seeping, but like I said, it's all due to age. It's no different than if it had 200 and something thousand miles on it like my L.L.Bean, and you know, it was basically the same condition looking at the pan. It doesn't matter if it had been driven or not. It was just basically the age and the breakdown of the 3-bond or RTV that seals the pan. The rear, everything looked fine to me. Mainly what I was seeing was the leaks in the transmission and front differential. Another important, the main deal breaker for me was the fact that the car was running hot. The entire time when I first got in it, throughout the test drive, the car was running hot. It wasn't overheating, but it was about 3/4 of the way getting close to the H. Coolant level was rising from when I first got to the guy and looked at the car to after we got back from the test drive. It was almost to the lid in the overflow by the time we were done driving. The coolant was very muddy and brown. I couldn't see any bubbling in the overflow. I didn't see any milkshake in the dipstick or anything else. I don't know if it was a blown head gasket. It very well possibly could be a bad head gasket, just due to the fact that that coolant is probably the original coolant that's been in that car for 18 years. And the fact that that coolant sat in that engine and that, you know, and wasn't run and hasn't been driven, it just started corroding the head gaskets. Like I said, it could have been a failing thermostat, which is also likely that the thermostat was partially hanging up, but hard to tell. So with that being said, like I said, I'll have pictures up. I'm going to pass on the car and close the video out here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.